All right. Well, hello, everybody, and happy Monday, August, our first Monday of August. We're excited. We got through July, and now we are hitting August, which in our minds can be very busy time. And I'm going to give you a pro tip for August that I gave the leaders last week in the 300 plus room. And now that it is August, I'm going to give it to everybody when we're done with announcements. So we're going to go through our announcements and then we're going to do some recognition. I'm going to give you a pro tip. And then I'm really excited about the training tonight. And so looking forward to getting to that because we don't have a ton of announcements. So, all right. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the company made an announcement on In Touch about the e-commerce enhancements. And so I want to just make sure that you guys give yourself permission to go to In Touch and look at some of those enhancements that have happened on your My Shop, your shop manager, and my customers. And I'm not going to go through all of them. They've just been little enhancements that are going to make your job a lot easier, your life a lot easier. And the main reason why I'm bringing this up is because I want to just tell you that this is a direct result of us reaching out to the company and the company making improvements based on the feedback that they get from us. And so I just want to reiterate how important that is when you have ideas. Don't think they're silly. Don't think that you need 10 people to agree with you. Just go and write a little note to the company and say, hey, I'd like to see if this could be, because you just across the company, across the, Mary Kay world, there could be lots of people saying the same thing. And so I know, for instance, on my shop manager, when you went in to set the free shipping, you had only a 30-day window. You had to go in every 30 days and update that. It was like, ah, and so if that's what your default is, it's much easier to be able to set that up. Okay. And so just so those are little enhancements, but those are things they've heard over and over and over again from the sales force. And so I'm very grateful that we have a company that listens to the sales force and makes, I mean, and there have been times, and as top directors, we know when they did something and we were like, burp, like within minutes, it seems like there'd be an announcement like, okay, 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 okay. We heard you on this. And so, that's definitely a privilege that the company works hard to keep us happy. So, write your suggestions down and give those to the company. All right. The next announcement is PCP. Obviously, the deadline is August 17th. You want to make sure that you get your uh, register your customers. And just like, I'm sure you've heard this before, but I know a lot of times the habit is to wait until the end and then register everybody. But you guys can go in there today and register your current customers that you have that you'd like to have receive the book and guarantee them to get a sample. And then as you're building your customer base, you can add two, three, four, five more people and enroll them before the deadline. So don't think that it's a one-shot deal because too many times we break the internet and then there's a glitch and then I couldn't do it. And then your customers, we're getting into the fall season. So this is going to be real important for you to be strengthening your communication with your customers because we're getting into that shopping season where they're going to be getting a book and thinking of things for Christmas and all of the things that happen during the second half of the year. Okay. So this is a time when you don't want to drop the ball and wait to the last minute and then have some kind of a computer error and you can't get it to go through. And just know that you can continue to register customers throughout the course of the deadline. Okay, points for paradise. I have my captain's hat. You guys, it's points for paradise, and I don't want to mess my hair up, so I'm not putting the hat all the way on. But we're at the halfway mark. Okay, so make sure you're tracking that. I looked at our points in our unit today, and we have several people that are halfway there. And so it's really exciting to see how those points add up. Now, both of these young ladies have team members. And so it is so cool to see how, as a team member, you are contributing to your senior consultant's points. And so any order size, customer delivery service order, any order that comes through your My Shop, all of those orders count for the retail value toward the points. And so it's exciting to watch those points grow. And I feel like we're going to see some people in some pretty cool shades and maybe even on a cruise boat. Okay. I wish we could go with you. Your special person you would take with you is your director. Okay. For those of you that are going to seminar, make sure you are aware in your mind that the facilities in Dallas will be closed. Okay, so I know we're in Dallas and it's just a quick trip over to um, Dallas, from Fort Worth to Dallas, but the facilities will be closed. The distribution center and all of the places. You can't go to the museum. You're not going to be able to get it anywhere. They've got too much staff and faculty going over to um, Fort Worth to then be able to support the people coming over to see everything that happens in Dallas with all of that. So just make sure that you're aware of that. If you were trying to plan a trip over to see anything over in Dallas, all those places will be closed. Okay. Here's something we may have talked about in the past, but I want to bring it up because this has popped up a couple times. I've seen it online a couple times, and I've seen it in my own with some of my own consultants. The company has a pretty aggressive environmental agenda when it comes to being a clean company. And the result of that, we're seeing things like the Miracle Set's not coming in a bag anymore. We're seeing product updates to packaging, and the microdermabrasion is the latest one that's no longer coming in a box. So when you order a microdermabrasion set, and I've been a Mary Kay for 20 plus years, it's always had a box, right? So when you get your microdermabrasion set and you're like, it's in two separate boxes, like, what do I do with this? Okay, your customer doesn't know any better. All right. So it's going to be okay. But this is an incentive or an initiative that the company is pursuing environmentally. And so it just know it's not, it's a little update and a little change, but it's a smart update and a smart change. And your customer doesn't know any better anyway. And chances are the box is cute when they open it and then the box goes somewhere because they're putting it in their kitchen or they're putting it in their bathroom, they're putting it in the shower or wherever they're going to have it. So the important thing to remember is that you have your product label on the back. So they know how to. I had somebody tell me, I think of you every day. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. They're like, because I see your name on the back of my product, my cleanser. I'm like, oh, so cool. So your customers are thinking about you a lot when you use your product label. So don't forget that. But Microdermabrasion and Miracle Set are the two most recent where they've made adjustments, and you're not going to see the bag. Okay. So the Miracle Set will come with all four separate, right? Okay. So that's cool. Um, and then the last thing I wanted to add to the announcements tonight is that this month, because we are full swing in having guests attend our meetings so that they can see a little bit about what we do and see the support and see the commitment that the leadership makes to the sales force and for them to be informed. This month, the guests will go into the Great Start guest room, and Susie's in there. And so I just want to plug that because it's not every day that you're going to have access to have your guests have exposure to the tippy top of Mary Kay. And although Jana and I are seasoned, this is someone who, if out of the three of us, you want to get your people in front of, you want to get them in front of Susie, right? And so now when it's Jana's turn, you want to get them in front of Jana. As a top director, my people, they love me, but they're probably sick of me. And so it's fun to get them in front of somebody new that's got a different journey, a different story, but culturally we have the same, you know, links. And so I just think it's powerful. I don't want you to forget that the tools that you have available to help build your business are right at your fingertips. It's just getting your guests to make the commitment to pop on, making sure they get the link and that they're here. And then they have great exposure to three top people in the company. And this month in the August Great Start Plus room, it will be Susie. So make sure you get your guests in front of her. I mean, come on, what are you doing? Right? Like, I want to get my guests in front of her too. Okay, so let's move into some recognition. And I don't have my pom pom, but I'm cheering you on to our three top leaders tonight. And our third gal in this for this week, I'm sorry, I'm looking at something else, with just over 378 points is Lisa Brooks. She's number three. So congratulations, Lisa. All right, this is definitely, when I looked at your numbers, this is literally three faces and some sales. Okay. So you just don't know when you're turning in your points. Okay. That you are thinking, oh, I don't know, my points aren't that great this week. And here we are. We have, you get some recognition mostly because you turned your points in and you did some things. So tell us a little bit about your week, Lisa.
Well, the one that I was trying to get to come on tonight to try to get her to do this as a side hustle, she had some dry skin, so I took over a bottle of my satin hands and gave it to her to try. And last night I seen her, and she said she liked it, and she's going to be placing an order for the whole set because she's excited about that. And then two of my clients' daughters came over, and I had the lotion on my purse because that was Allison's idea. So they tried it, and they also are going to place are going to be placing orders for the satin hands. And I've actually got two sets at home, so I will be able to bring that to them when they're able to pay because they're on a fixed income. And then I got a surprise online order from my parents' neighbor because I got the email saying, you had an order. I'm like, oh, good, my first order of the month.
So good. And
So,
that reminds me of another announcement that the company, when your customers register on your My Shop and they start to create a cart, the company will send them reminders to them when they've agreed to participate and get information from the company. So they'll be reminded to order. So for those of you that have customers that start orders and don't finish and don't get to it, they'll get prompted from the company. So anyway, all right.
cool.
Well, did you want to add something else, Lisa?
No, I'm just very hopeful that my neighbor will sign up to be a recruit.
All right. Well, I'm excited. It sounds like something that might be really good for her since I'm sure with her schedule it would be challenging and caring for her child. So, all
Yes.
right. Okay, well, the runner up to the queen this week with over 747 points is Miss Deborah Cadone. So good job, Deborah. Yay. I'm excited. I know we've been talking about this for a while, so tell everybody what you've been up to.
All right, I've been working on improving getting the parties all set up the way Ari Hathaway has it, and I was excited. I invited a lot of people. I had my own party, so unfortunately, there was 5 or 6 that did not were not able to come because it's August and they already had plans. But I did have a few of my faithful girls, and they were all excited to see the new party way that I did things with the big roll up bag. And they're very interested in the bag. And it just really gave me more confidence. And they were very happy to help me practice this new setup.
All right. And it's a confidence builder. It gets you going, it gets
Yes,
you in front of people, gets you learning something a little bit new. Anytime you're tweaking your party a little bit, it's like it's fun because you're making mistakes, but we're all making mistakes. I can tell you so many stories. So I'm proud of you, Deborah, and I'm
thank you.
grateful. I'm glad that you were here to share. So thank you for your commitment for that. And that you booked a party and you're house sitting, right?
Yes.
So it was something that got her excited because she was going to be house sitting and she can invite people to an environment where there's not going to be any distractions and she can just have her party. Don't you wish you all had like a spare house? Like, yes, I need a spare house. Okay, well, congratulations for being our runner-up this week. And our queen with over 1,094 points is Miss Allison. Congratulations, twin. We're excited for you. And I just want to say before you say anything, thank you for sharing your ideas because you helped Lisa this last week with some of your ideas. And that's just and Lisa, I want to also tell you just the true heart of a leader. Really, one of the most inspiring things to a leader is when somebody listens to what you say and then they do it and they have good results and they're like, I did just like you said. And so I'm sure Allison would agree, but that is something that is just warms your heart. So thank you for sharing that, Lisa. And tell us a little bit more about your week, Allison.
Um, Well, it's been a challenging week for personal reasons, but listen to your directors and your mentors because, they say, okay, you have to show up to go up. I really didn't feel like getting on the meeting tonight, but I did. And that consistency does pay off because, I thought, okay, I've been trying to take these samples. You go to the dentist like twice a year usually to get your teeth cleaned. I've probably taken them there for 3 years, maybe. And this last time I thought, okay, what's the sense of taking them? I took them and I've already got two new customers. And the one, even with a 20% discount, her order is like $125 or something. And the other lady ordered. And I'm like, okay, it's because I listened to my recruiter and my director. And I never spent a lot on the samples, but this time I focused a lot on the National Lipstick Day. And so it's just kind of, you might not always see those instant results, but just stick with it. And this is all skills that can be taught. And so just stick with it is what I can say. Just be consistent, stick with it, and don't give up because it's always like a roller coaster. Everything in life, but also in Mary Kay.
So tell us about your four bookings.
Oh, okay. So my friend was coming over. And like, well, if you're coming over, we're gonna do some Mary Kay. So we went to junior college together. So she did a mask for me. And then I've got let's see. So the ladies at the dentist office, well, I had part of the filling come out, so I was there for over some hours. So the one lady, she's the receptionist, she kept going back and forth showing me all the different lipsticks. So she was trying all the lipsticks on. The other lady, I've been friendly with her because she was when he was at the other office. So she's the one who ordered a bunch of skincare, which she used to use Mary Kay, but not through me, but her consultant hasn't ordered in a long time. She's like, okay, I'm finally going to order. She's like, my skin is not doing well with this other, brand that she's had. So I gave her some samples and she's doing that now. And then I'm trying to think who my fourth one was. Oh gosh, I don't even remember right now. I had it written down somewhere. Oh, if you saw my house, you ladies would, I don't know. I don't remember right now, to tell you the truth. And then my college roommate tomorrow, she's a teacher, so she's going to be going back to school. So she already knows she's going to have to do some Mary Kay stuff for me tomorrow.
And did you get your hair cut?
No, it needs cut. It's really long, so I have a
Oh, okay.
headband.
It looks
I have a
different.
head. I have a headband on to keep it out of my. You got to do what you
Okay.
can
I'm
do.
like, your hair looks a little different. So I was like,
Yeah,
look at you with a new do.
yeah, it is.
Um, all right. Well, we're proud of you for being here, and because we all have stuff. I mean, we all have things that happen in our personal lives, and sometimes the thing that gets you through is actually sticking to your routine and doing things anyway, and it makes you feel good. Because if I remember Rena Tarbett saying, if a dip, she used to call it like a dippy, and it was like if it knocks you off course, whether it's something really major, and this is someone who struggled with cancer for over 30
Mm-hmm.
years. If you've got chemo and all the things that go on, or the dog throws up, if either one of them throws you off, it's the same. You know what I mean? And so I'm glad you're here, and how great you were the queen. We love
Yeah, I
it.
did not expect that, so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so here's my pro tip. And Allison kind of was a good segue to lead into this. I told the girls last week in August, try not to focus so hard on all of the back to school people because you've got moms and all the people that are worried about school supplies. And yes, you can do your fun online school supplies. But if you're wondering why people aren't getting with you, it's because all their kiddos are going back to school and they're trying to get everything and school shopping and everybody needs a lunchbox and everybody has a teacher list that's forever long. And you can make it easy for those people with like a fun book sale or like back to school, like what's on back to school with all the pencils and all the things that are on sale in your whatever. But focus on people that don't have kids that aren't doing anything in August. Okay. So that would look like maybe time-wise repair set customers. Maybe you're looking for those college students who don't go to school yet, or something like that. So maybe look at a different demographic for August and don't get so frustrated with your business if you're trying really hard to get together with moms whose kids are going back to school because this time is really crazy. Our son is coming home and both of our sons are coming home actually, and I can already feel the anxiety of like Costco and dinner and like the things that happen when you have your kids around. And so all of the going back to school stuff that we have to get for college and all the things. And so that's just a little pro tip. Don't be so keep that in mind so that you don't beat yourself up in August if maybe the bookings are a little bit challenging. Okay. All right. Well, you guys, we have a great training tonight, and it is going to be, you know, I'm going to let her tell you, but we've come up with some fun names like Junkie Jana and Not Quite Right Jana and Jana Almost There Jana, Jana Stuck Strunk. And she's going to do a training tonight. And I think you guys, oh, okay. And so, Jana, are you there?
I got some tips for you. I
Oh,
got some tips for
hilarious.
you all. You like what you wearing on your face? Huh? Well, I got some tips for you. Okay? Tonight you're going to hear it all. All right? You might even see it all. All right? Cuz I could show you all kinds of stuff. Okay. So, I want to
Oh my
ask
God.
you, hold on. What kind of image are you portraying? You guys, um, what
Oh
is your
my
look? And by
God.
the way, this is not a cigarette, and this is empty and rinsed out. Um, this is from my a baking thermometer. But anyway, it's the closest thing I could find to a cigarette. So I am not bashing you if you have drinks. I'm not bashing you if you're a smoker. But there is a place and a time for all the things. And I want to tell you that image is so valuable. It's not just valuable because you are representing the Mary Kay world. It's valuable because it determines your confidence. And your confidence determines how many people that you're booking, how many people that you're able to get in front of, what kind of people that you're able to book, what kind of people that you're able to attract with your business. Does that make sense? All right, let's talk about image and then we're going to talk about booking. And while I'm doing this, I am going to be taking my hair out because these things are itchy on my head. And so, anyway, so ladies, confidence. Um, it just creates confidence with you. I want to tell you a story. So, at my very first time that I was at a Mary Kay party, I went to my sister's house and she had one of someone that she knows. It was a Mary Kay lady came over to her house. And I think her name was Joette. And Joette did a little presentation for us. And Joette was wearing a beautiful lilac colored business suit with a white blouse, and she looked beautiful. And so I remember that. I remember what I bought at that party. I bought a great manicure kit, and it was just, I remember it. And then a few years later, my sister said that I should be using Mary Kay skincare. And so I said, well, I don't have a Mary Kay consultant. She said, you know what? I got a Mary Kay consultant. Let me send her over to your house. And I said, oh, okay, sounds good. And by the way, I have to take this robe off because it's so hot. I'm really not stripping down. I'll put on my jacket. So I feel like I'm back in the position of an independent sales director instead of Junkie Jana. So anyway, all right, here I go. Okay, I feel better. You guys, oh, we're going to talk about that and how image will make you feel. So anyway, so I was dressed. This gal came over to my house to show me skincare. I was dressed in gray slacks and a blouse. And when she walked into my house, she had on blue jeans and a green sweatshirt. The only saving grace is that she had lots of samples, or I would have been totally irritated. I was already kind of like, huh, I thought this was a little bit different. I thought that Mary Kay women dressed a little bit different because of my first impression of the first woman. Does that make sense? And so when I never want to show up to my appointments dressed less professional than anyone in attendance. I'm not trying to make anyone feel less than. I'm trying to make sure that I am caring enough to have put my best image out there. Okay? I want to read to you a little bit from an article from the Daily Texan from 2023, because this is what I know for sure. Today I had a dress on, and by the way, it was a white dress, and I spilled barbecue on it, so I had to take that off. But anyway, I had a dress on today. I tried this today. I wore a dress while I was doing booking appointments. My penmanship was even prettier. Oh my goodness. And so I felt way more confident. So I want to read to you this a little bit about this article. What you wear actually has the potential to impact your mood and your performance. When you wear a suit, you feel more professional and competent. When you wear jeans and a t-shirt, you do feel more laid back. Maybe you feel more friendly, but I think that you can be friendly in wearing whatever. So this phenomenon is known as enclothed cognition. It is the reason why there are dress codes at workplaces, fancy restaurants, and sometimes even schools. It's to create a certain image and an environment that promotes people to work, eat, and study better. The same reasoning can be applied to taking exams. Dressing more formally can improve students' academic performance on exam day. Have you ever heard about that? Yeah, it's a real thing. There are professors that encourage and definitely promote that. So just as the way you dress can influence others' perception of you, the same holds true for your own self-perception. Isn't that something? How you think about yourself. People associate certain clothes with symbolic meaning, and wearing these clothes will simulate corresponding psychological processes. To put this phenomenon into perspective, something that everyone has likely experienced are the effects of COVID-19 on their school experience. The pandemic forced students all over the world to participate in online school, which led to people wearing their pajamas all day long. Although several factors such as staff shortages, mental health challenges contributing to drop in students' academic performance and achievements all over the world, the phenomenon of enclothed cognition also played a role that they proved. When students tried to learn in their pajamas, it was easy to be unproductive. A 2015 research article found that wearing formal clothes associated with enhanced abstract processing. In other words, dressing up on exam day can improve students' higher level thinking, helping them apply their knowledge to hypothetical situations. So let me ask you this. Look, my dog is running around here now. Chloe, you gotta stop. She lets herself in the door now. Okay, what are you wearing at your facials and parties? People take you more seriously when you dress for success. You take you more seriously when you dress for success. So if you look sharp, and even, as we're getting ready to go to seminar, we like to even look sharp during travel. And people have commented all around the world to me. I've heard it. I was in Pennsylvania one day. We were coming back from the $1 Million reunion, and I stopped and spoke with these people at the airport, and they were at the greeting desk. And they said, is someone shooting a movie around here? I feel like there's movie stars. And I said, oh, really? They said, women dressed so beautifully and just sharp. And so, you guys, that's what people say about Mary Kay consultants and directors when we're going en masse to these conferences because they're seeing so many people that are projecting an image. And so Mary Kay famously says, I even got a quote from Mary Kay on here. While clothes may not make the woman, they certainly have a strong effect on her confidence, which I believe does make the woman. So you heard that. Mary Kay said that she believed that self-confidence does make the woman. And some of the professional standards, Mary Kay has changed the standards that they expected, in the past few years. So in the past, she encouraged a traditional polished business appearance, famously requiring the sales force to wear skirts or dresses rather than pantsuits to maintain a distinctively feminine and professional corporate identity. You guys, we don't have to wear pantyhose anymore. We're not required to wear pants, and I don't. But the thing about the pants thing is I wear a skirt and a dress to honor the memory of Mary Kay Ash. And so, if there's extenuating circumstances and you choose otherwise, that's up to you. But this is what I know for sure. You're going to feel more confident the more professional you look. And so Mary Kay advocated for presenting oneself as a success before it is fully achieved, aligning personal presentation with future goals. Who has a goal here of earning their red jacket? Anyone? Wave your hand. Yeah, all right. So it's important to start dressing and walking like that woman. Start teaching your skincare classes like that woman. Start booking appointments with confidence like that woman. And we'll talk about that more here in just a minute. Who here wants to be a sales director? That's awesome, ladies. I love seeing those hands. Okay, so think about if I were a sales director, this is how I would walk when I walk into a store. If I were a sales director, this is how I would dress for success today. Does that make sense? And if I were a sales director, these are the habits that I would have. Okay. Okay, next. By the way, smoking and drinking, no. No, no, and no. Okay, I got to tell you a story as I'm holding my thing here. I was at a conference in Kansas City, Missouri. We were downtown, and there was a health company that was having a conference, and they all had black BMWs parked on the street. Anyway, so this health food company, they had a conference right next to our conference, and so we were going up in the elevator, and they were drunk and hitting on us. Like some of the guys were, and the chicks were. It was not a good look. I am not the only one that noticed it. It was really wild. And so I know without a shadow of a doubt that we choose to honor Mary Kay, but we also choose to honor you. And because we want you to honor us, we'll honor you. It's all on that honor system. And so we definitely want to do that. So you can count on us to represent you in a professional, kind manner. Can we count on you? Okay, so no, please, no smoking or vaping or drinking at parties, pretty please, ladies. That's not a great image. And language, you want to be professional in your language, but also this. Don't gossip. If you're gossiping or talking negatively, don't you want those people to welcome you into their home, or you welcome them into your home and they feel like they've been unburdened by the stress of the world, the outside world that's talking about other people, that's, you know what I mean? Like that, it's so hot outside. You know what I mean? So I'll ask them questions, be uplifting, and an online presence. Would all of your friends want to book with you, or do you alienate half of them with political posts? Ain't nobody got time to try to change somebody's mind. You're not going to change their mind about anything anyway. So you might as well not alienate half of your world on that. So the next thing, are you wearing Mary Kay head to toe? If you're not wearing Mary Kay head to toe, for example, okay, I love Mary Kay's body wash and the hydrating lotion. If I'm not wearing the hydrating lotion and somebody sitting next to me says, "Oh, my legs are so dry," what am I going to say? "Oh, here, I think this St. Ives is really good." No, you know, so that is kind of just part of the package. And another thing is, what are we known for? We are definitely not known for chasing people or stalking people. That's another company. I'm not going to name names, but there are other companies that do that. We do not do that. This is too good of a product and too good of an opportunity to do those types of things. And so image plays a part in who is booking with you. I want to ask you all, and by the way, if I've stepped on your toes, I apologize. I will back off of your toes in about 5 minutes. Um, so, um, where's your vision board? Everybody got it handy? Okay. Vision board. Ah, Elizabeth, way to go. Elizabeth's got it right here in front of her. Okay. When you have your vision board in front of you all the time, your heart says that booking an appointment is not a big deal. Am I right? Awesome. Okay, so I want to ask you another question. How are you booking people? And you don't have to answer this, but are you texting people? Are you calling people? Are you using Facebook Messenger? I wanted to ask that because I'm currently part of this top director group that are in the field. Like these women are really in the field, and they are currently calling people, and they say that calling people is turning out the best numbers for them. And it's the best method to get responses. Texting seems spammy now. Messenger is more spammy because for a while, people were trying to book people through Messenger or reach out to people through Messenger and texting. I don't know about you all, but I've gotten 5 million text messages today that are not even people that I know. And so it's just so important. So I made phone calls today, and if you give me just a second, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I will share with you my numbers on how many people answered the phone. I called 13 people on my to do bookings and stuff today, and I spoke with one, two, three. I spoke with 3 out of 13. And so, and you know what? I'll do a follow-up text with that. You can, if you leave them a voicemail, you can shoot them a text. And so it's kind of like a double up, like, "Hey, Elizabeth, it's Jana Strunk. I just left you a voice message. And looking forward to hearing back from you. Let me know when we can chat, or I'll just call you back. If I don't hear back from you, I'll just check back with you in a couple of days." Okay? That way it's kind of a double hit deal, okay? Okay, the next thing that I want to share with you is that it's important for you to always keep control of the bookings. So I had a gal today, and by the way, you guys, you don't have to go to Chat GPT to get a script. Just if it's somebody that you know, you're just going to ask them for help with your new presentation. I have a new type of party and I'm using the skincare class playbook and I need practice. Will you help? That's it. Will you help? Always keep control of the booking though, okay? So like if they say, like I had a gal on here, I'll just tell you her name. Michaela. I called Michaela and I said, "Hey, Michaela, it was so good to see you again at the pop-up lip bar the other day. I want to, congratulations, you won a lip gloss too, that you can pick a lip gloss at your complimentary pampering session with me. So, what works best for you, daytimes or weekends? And she said, well, I am a nurse, and right now they haven't come out with our schedule yet for this month. So I'll just have to get back with you. And um, I said, oh gosh, yeah, I totally understand. I said, okay, so if you don't know what your schedule is for like in 2 weeks, because obviously I'm going to seminar, I said, I'm going to be out of town a little bit. How about this? If I don't hear from you before the end of the week, I'll get back with you. Okay? So that's how I turned that around to keep me in control. Because she said, I'll get back with you. And I said, okay, sounds great. How about this? So, how about this is a good transitional phrase. Hey, how about this? I will, if I don't hear back from you, I'll reach out to you. Okay? And okay is a great closing statement because when you say okay, that elicits the okay response. Okay? I used to be in telephone sales, so I know that to be a fact. Okay, next, book tentatively. So I tried to book tentatively today. It didn't work out, but I still have control because and by the way, I put it in my notes actually not in my notes. I put it in my calendar to reach back out to Michaela on Friday if I don't hear back from her. And by the way, Trista says also making it personal and checking in before you ask. Do they need anything? Don't just reach out when you need to meet a goal. Do biweekly, monthly check-ins are huge in not making a customer feel used. You don't want, like I had a gal today, her name's Chandra. She was just on my heart. And I just reached and I said, hey, Chandra, how's your summer going? I was just thinking about you today. She said, it's going very well. And I said, fantastic. That was it. I did not try to book her for an appointment. I did not ask her for an order. So it is good to do check-ins with people for sure. Thank you, Trista, for mentioning that. Okay, if you are booking through text messenger and messenger, by the way, it's not that I don't use those. I do, but I am trying out like a lot of phone calls now. Never use the words, and if you're coached by me, you already know this. Please don't use the words, let me know. Because let me know, anytime you say it, is a prolonged, I don't really need to know an answer right now. Just someday when you get around to it and when you feel like it, you can give me a response. Wrong. That's not what we're looking for. And so it's really important to ask a question. So if I'm texting someone, I will say, usually I'll engage them first instead of just like word vomiting. Hey, I want you to book a facial with me. It's like if I'm booking a referral, I'll say, hey, Allison, it's Jana Strunk. Hey, your friend Susie nominated you for a Mary Kay gift of pampering when we were together the other day. That comes with a gift certificate. Would you like more information? Question mark. Yes or no is what she's going to say. And so then I can proceed with the booking conversation. What if I would have said, hey, Allison, it's Jana Strunk. Susie and I got together the other day and she nominated you for a Mary Kay gift of pampering. If you'd like to take advantage of that, let me know. Like next year? Like tomorrow? No! Don't let me know. Just ask the question. You guys, this is something that I figured out on my own. I was saying, let me know all the time. And I'm like, why aren't these people responding to me? And I would look and I would say, let me know. I'm like, no, I have a question I want an answer to. And so just remember that, okay? And 10 bookings is always been the gold standard. Mary Kay Ash asked us to keep 10 appointments on our books at all times. And if I'm not mistaken, of course she would prefer that to be in a week or 2 weeks. But if you are, working 80 hours a week, we understand, maybe extend it out a little bit further, but 10 appointments on the books. When I When you have 10 appointments on your books, it's empowering. It's exciting. It's exhilarating. And when someone cancels, it's a relief. Don't you? You're like, whew, I've been so busy this week. I'm thankful that that person had to reschedule, or, I don't like to call them cancel, but I do like to say reschedule. Thank goodness, because that's all right. I didn't have enough time for that this week anyway. And then you reschedule it. But like I said earlier, no one gave me a script when I started. We didn't have GPT. Be authentically you. That's what people want. And I'm not saying you can't use a chat GPT script to learn a little bit, you guys. But honestly, authenticity is what people love these days, because there's so much stuff that is made up by chat GPT and so many flyers and so many things that we're seeing fake a lot. But we want to see the real deal for sure. So be authentically you and ask for help in scheduling practice appointments for your new playbook or whatever type of new party that you're executing. Okay, I have a challenge for you. How about a challenge, a race? What if we had a book 10 challenge? What if we had a book 10 race? So this is what we're going to do. Whoever has, and by the way, Allison and Susie and I are we're in communication. We've got a Voxer group. So when you get 10 appointments on your books, now I'm going to be very clear about this. An appointment on your book is someone that has scheduled an appointment with you, and the time, the date, and the place have been determined. You are not getting together with them to do satin hands. You're not getting together with them just to do satin lips. You're scheduling an appointment to share the skincare plus something else with them. Okay? We're not really scheduling on-the-go appointments, even though we, at some point, those are appointments. But we're looking at product trial appointments, okay? Or a career sharing appointment, or also known as an interview. So do you have someone that's booked to do an interview with you or your sales director, or on a three-way call? But parties, facials, all of it counts. So what would keep you from booking 10 appointments? So what we're going to do is we're going to have a book 10 race. So if you've already got 5 appointments on your books, you're already ahead. So the first one over 10 is going to get spotlighted, probably not this next week because a lot of people are going to be out to seminar. But how about we spotlight someone for booking on the 17th? Does that sound good? When you get 10 skincare appointments and career talks, you can combine career talks in there. So if you when you get 10 appointments on your books, I want you to reach out to your sales director, and you can if you send me a text that says 10 check mark, I would be totally excited. I would love to hear more, of course, of how you did that. But you know what? We'll hear more from you on the 17th, because we're going to spotlight you on our training. How's that sound? All right, ladies, sorry, I ran a little bit late. We're going to go ahead and go into the breakout rooms. Does anybody have any questions before we go into breakout rooms?
Well, I want to do something really quick. I want to do the spin to
yes.
win. I've got it right here. Okay. So let's end on a fun note where somebody is going to win something. Okay. So
Yay.
again, you must be present to win. I don't know why my thing is moving like that. It must be a setting. That's why it's jacking me up.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to hit right here. We're going to see who our winner is.
And how you get into the drawing, ladies, is when you turn your points in for the week and you're present to win. You get in the spinner. Uh-oh. Betsy Dudley, that's the second time that you have missed out on winning. Wah, wah, wah.
Wah,
Betsy.
wah.
Oh.
Betsy.
Spin
Okay, let me do it
again.
again. I have to
Spin
remove her
again.
now.
All right.
Look, there's 10 people and 9 people are like, "Oh, respin," right? All right, here we go.
Lisa Brooks. Woo
All
woo!
right, Lisa,
Yay!
congratulations.
Great job, Lisa.
That
All
is
right.
awesome. And
All right.
I'll be getting with your sales director to get your information so I can send you a fun treat.
All right, ladies. We're going to go ahead and go into the breakout rooms for a few minutes. I'm going to stop the recording, and I'm so excited to see you all on here. Thank you so much. And by the way, thank you, ladies, for presenting beautiful images and being those stand-up women to represent Mary Kay the right way. And so I just want you to know that I was only looking silly to be very dramatic. So anyway, all right, ladies.
I
If
want to say that this is a water that I was drinking in my can. I know I didn't have my water bottle and don't usually drink out of a can, but I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not beer. It's not wine, it's water.
we knew. We
Okay.
knew what you were up to. You've been sipping the sauce today. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. So anyway, ladies, you can go into the